Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to Spider-Man Week. We have before us Marvel Legends Infinite Series, Marvel Spider-Man, Skyline, Sirens, Black Cat. And that is when I lose a bunch of subscribers because they get instantly jealous of me. Anyways, without further ado, let's take a look at the hardest to find figure of the wave. Alright, so here we are. Marvel Legends Black Cat. How we've waited years for a proper Black Cat. There was one in the Sinister Six box set during Toy Biz era. And this is the newest one we got. And this is probably the best of the two. I mean, that other one was old and kind of terrible from what I've seen and never actually owned it. But here we have a Black Cat at retail. What's the issue? She's one per case, impossible to find because everyone wants this figure. And I found it at a closing Kmart of all places for 30% off. Please don't leave. Don't be so jealous of me that you leave this video. I know, I got really lucky with this figure, and I kind of feel bad that I got it for a discount while other people can't even find one at retail. And she goes for crazy amounts on Amazon and eBay and such. But, that being said, here we have Black Cat. Now, she is a variant figure, oddly enough, with Spider-Girl. So, anyways, I would have been happy to get Spider-Girl to get the Green Goblin torso. Again, Green Goblin is my biggest selling point. It was the biggest selling point for me for this whole wave. But after I got this figure at that Kmart, which, by the way, it wasn't hanging on the Spider-Man peg with the other figures when I first looked. It was like I circled the store 3 times and then came back and it was there. So, it was destiny. But once I had got this figure, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for all the figures now. And I've been hunting Toxin for a while, and, well, you already know I got him. But that being said, as you can see, these heroes have joined Peter Parker's fight for justice. One has been his ally, the other carries on his legacy. So you got Spider-Girl, who is a good figure from what I've seen of her, and honestly, I saw her once. I don't really like the design all that much, and I wanted Black Cat more. And lo and behold, I got a Black Cat. So without further ado, let's take a look at this rare and hard-to-find figure. Alright, so here we have Black Cat, also known as Felicia Hardy. Also known as one of the sexiest Spider-Man characters ever. That's just a thing. Anyways, here's a picture of her in the Spider-Man Marvel Encyclopedia book. So overall, a nice representation of the character. And dare I say, this is the best figure in the wave so far, and trust me, the next two don't ever top this. Being the only female figure, she does have a new body mold, which is nice. And makes me wish that Princess Leia from the 6-inch Star Wars line didn't suck so much, because this body mold for a female is really good. First off, she has a gloss black finish over her jumpsuit. The white is not just white for the fur and her hair, it's got blue streaks in it. That is an attention to detail that you never see with retail products usually, is layered paint like that. Her boots are white, her gloves are white, her necklace is fully painted, and there have been a lot of paint issues with her chestal area, with some people that have found at retail that the paint has been smeared. But mine is perfect, and 30% off at a closing Kmart. Yes, you're allowed to be jealous of me. I apologize, though. Her face paint is overall really nicely done for having a lot of paint apps. The mask that kind of barely covers her face, it's more the wig that kind of hides her identity. But overall, this figure looks phenomenal. This probably is the best 6-inch Black Cat out there. I'm just really impressed with this. She does go for an insane amount of money on the aftermarket. Close to $40 or $50 by herself without shipping. and Spider-Girl goes for a lot less and probably will be easier to find. So, like I said, if you want the Build-A-Figure piece and you see a Spider-Girl, go for it. But if you really want this figure, you're going to get lucky at retail, or hopefully they'll do another case assortment where they put more of her in it like they're doing with Black Widow in the Captain America line. But that being said, this figure is amazing, and I feel like I paid too little for this figure because it's honestly a lot better than its retail cost even is. Anyways, articulation-wise, comes with the only issue I have with this figure. One issue on a figure is really good. When you move her head, it's on a ball joint. It comes right off. I'm sorry, this is atrocious looking. The problem is her hair, the way it's sculpted, which is greatly sculpted, and painted all the way through the parts you can't see. It does cause her head not to have any movability. It just comes off. But that being said, she looks fine looking straight on like that. Shoulder articulation, outward shoulder movement, 360 shoulder, gets a little way in the hair. No bicep rotation, but she does have an elbow bend and a elbow rotation. She's got a wrist swivel that only swivels instead of pivots. She's got it's not an ab crunch, it's kind of a ball joint just under her breasts. Yes, I said the word breasts, get over it. Outward leg movement is a little restrictive, but forward leg movement's pretty good. Thigh swivel is good. Double jointed knee works very well. And she has the full Marvel Legends 6-inch Hasbro figure boot articulation. Now she does have high heels, which make her a little bit hard to stand, but it is possible to get her to stand. It just takes a lot of work with the high heels, with the way they are. But when that's all said and done, she really could use something to balance her out, couldn't she? So we'll get to her accessory. We'll lay her down for a second. She comes with her cat whip, which, you know, when Mattel made Catwoman, they forgot to include a whip in the Batman Legacy line, so good job, Hasbro, you're doing better. Anyways, it's got a 3-clawed blade on the one end and the handle on the other, which can go right into her hand, which she actually holds it pretty well once you get her into the right kind of pose. And again, once you get her into the right kind of pose, it allows her to stand. Alright, so there you go. Once you get her all balanced, she does pull off quite a few nice poses. I'm definitely going to be putting some form of stand on her when I have her on display. But the cat whip works well in the pose it's kind of set in. So overall, this figure is phenomenal. I'm just so sad that she's not easy to find and more people can't own her easily. It sounds really, really strange in my mind, but oh well, we'll keep going with it. Anyways, this figure is fantastic, and I can definitely recommend it. My only complaint being that she is a little hard to stand because of her balance, but that's how the female body works. And you can't turn her head or else she decapitates herself. But other than that, this figure is great, and I'm really impressed with how it is. So I'll say, the best of luck to you when finding her at retail. And you may, if you really, really, really want this figure, you may just have to bite the bullet on the online prices. But if you are just looking for this torso of the Green Goblin that I'm going to show here, there is Spider-Girl, and just like how Toxin's easier to find than Carnage, Spider-Girl is easier to find than Black Cat. So, that being said, highly recommended, but alas, the hardest to find. So anyways, stay tuned tomorrow as we'll take a look at a figure that I know nothing about the character it's portraying. And be sure to check out HeroTaku.com for all your Marvel news and more. Until next time, saying goodbye.